Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Crush the Rush podcast. Okay, I know what some of you are thinking when you hear the word paid ads, and it sounds like another full-time job that you don't have time for. But stay with me because this episode is totally going to flip that. Ashley Brock is the founder of Paid Ads Academy, an Inc. 500 female founder in 26 and an 8-figure business owner who has managed over $200 million in ad spend for brands like Dollar Tree, Revlon, California Closets, and more. And now she teaches entrepreneurs to become findable, meaning the right people find you instead of chasing them on social media every day. So this is exactly why I wanted her on our show. We're talking about how paid ads can be part of your anti-social strategy. We're talking about how they are a life-first strategy. They run while your kids are at a soccer game, they work while you're asleep, and they do not require you to post a single reel. So behind the scenes today, we're really going into what that looks like, but also Ashley's opening up about what it really looks like to run a business of her size and also prioritizing family and that life first business model that we love. So let's get into it. Hello, Ashley. Welcome to the Crush the Rush podcast. It is such an honor to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm so impressed by you. We're going to have a great time. I can't wait.
Yes, we're going to go deep. I'm excited. Okay, so the question that we ask everyone when they come on our show is, what does building a life first business mean to you? And I'm very excited for this answer because I think we believe in a lot of the same behind the scenes.
Yeah. I mean, it means building something that I don't miss out on the things that I want to experience with the people that I love. So like I think for me, it's like I think about the story last Friday. I picked up my son early from school and I was like, okay, Easton, I was like, he's my oldest. And he was like, I was like, do you want to go to lunch? Do you want to go get a toy? Do you want to go get ice cream? He's like, I want to do all three.
Oh,
like that is like me focusing on like the life I want to build. And then having the team that I love, being able to take my team to Greece next week. Or I guess when we listen to this, I will have already taken them to Greece.
Yes.
And so it's those little things for me.
Yeah, I love that. And we were talking before we hit record that you're leaving for Greece tomorrow. You also have a large team and a family. So if somebody's listening and is like, well, that sounds great. Like, I also want to do all three. Like, what's something tangible that you do to sort of keep those boundaries?
Well, I'm going to be completely honest, I actually really struggled with boundaries, like a lot.
Yeah.
So that's just the honest truth. But I actually have recently ordered a brick. Do you know what a brick is?
I do. Yes.
Okay. So like what I found is when I don't give myself an option to do the thing that I normally want to do, it's easier on my brain because I'm not having to decide if I'm doing this or not.
Ooh.
Because it's like, there is no option to get on social media right now. So I don't have to say, should I open my phone or not? It's like, it's locked. So the answer is no. And so I've needed some like harder structure and boundaries. And so I use my brick to help say, okay, I'm in work mode now. I'm in mom mode now. I'm in wife mode now.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, we have a whole program called Anti-Social School. So I'm excited to dig into the brick and like how you can scale using ads without being on social. But I want to go into your background a little bit because I know you've been on a lot of podcasts and a lot of people have heard your story. But the thing that stood out to me was you walked away from a job when you were 6 weeks pregnant, I think 6 weeks, with your second son and sort of walked away from everything. And as someone who's been in corporate, and I get the question a lot of like, how could you walk away? How could you leave that? I'm curious what that felt like for you.
It felt like risk, but it also felt like relief. And I say that because I was truly unhappy when I left, and it wasn't because of the agency. They did nothing wrong. I can't say one bad thing about any place that I worked. And I did have 4 months of fully paid maternity leave. So it was hard, and a 6-figure salary. I was like, I felt like I'm leaving something guaranteed, but I'm like, the what if weighed too much on me. I was like, what if we could take this knowledge to the world? So, I mean, there's definitely anxiety. There was definitely uncertainty. I definitely had substantially less confidence then than I did now. So there's more insecurity. But I think what I found is the most successful entrepreneurs have the highest tolerance for pain. And so that was painful, and you can't have a gain without some pain. And so that was like my first step in that for me.
Oh, I love that quote. What did you have to have in place to say like, okay, I'm putting in my notice today?
Honestly, just a lot of belief. I didn't have like, there's a lot of people who are like, okay, I need to make sure I have this and this and this. Like
Yeah.
I had one consulting client with an agency. So basically
Yes.
I left full time and then I said, I'm going to leave and I'm going to consult. So it's my business. I'm the business. And so this company is like paying me as the consultant. And so I had one client. So like, I was like, I hope this works out because it was the only thing. And I was like, even if it doesn't, I told my husband, I like, how long could we go if I made $0?
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know, a couple months. And I was like, well, here we go. So I just didn't have all the I's dotted or T's crossed. And I actually think it's a mistake for people to wait until that moment comes because I think you'll always be like, well, I could have this, this, and this ready. And it's just life is like not like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think that part of the story is really important because I think people see you externally now and you've been so successful and you have a huge team. And I think it's important to share like everyone starts at ground zero. And so thank you for sharing that and the little tips behind the scenes. I want to dig into the brick a little bit, actually. And that is a lot of times when you talk about running ads, a lot of people think, oh, I have to be on all the time. I have to be on social all the time. I have to be on my phone all the time. And our audience is very much trying to disconnect from that when they can. And so if you're looking to run ads, how does that sort of fit into the antisocial picture?
Yeah. So one of my clients is a 7-figure influencer, like really close to 8 figures, to be honest. So she just posts her outfits to Amazon. She's one of the top 10 of all influencers on Amazon. And so she was like, hey, is there really a world where I cannot be on my phone as much and people still find me? I'm like, yes, it's called advertising. So I'll give you a perfect example. I let my social media manager go recently. It was just not the right fit. Mm-hmm. And so when that happened, we went an entire week without posting on social media. And I don't get on social media because I'm in a place now where my team is in my DMs. Mm-hmm. So I legitimately was not on social media because I wasn't posting because I did not have time to. And I was not responding because I did not have time to. And my stress level was 0. Mm-hmm. Most people will be like, oh no, if I went a week, is the algorithm going to freak out? And I'm sitting here like, literally, I'll turn on the ads and people will find me and everything's going to be great. And that is such a sense of relief that so many people don't have. Like people can think that, and some people will listen to this and be like, there's no way. I'm like, literally didn't care. I have 99 other things I cared about than the fact that I wasn't posting on social media because I do not rely on one source to get people to find me. I have people finding me everywhere on Google, YouTube, Pinterest, TikTok, LinkedIn, Spotify, all these places. So I think that's the freedom that comes with being findable is yes, it takes a little bit of time. And yes, you have to get on your phone or computer to start the process. And think of it like a washing machine. Like it takes a minute to build a washing machine, but then you can just like put the clothes in, click go, and you walk away and it does it. I'm like, that is what advertising can be. It just takes a little bit of time to build that.
Yeah, we're going to bust all the myths today. Question I also get about ads is we normally think Facebook and Instagram ads. And I love what you said about it's an ecosystem. And I love the fact that like we're coming from like all different angles. It's not one. So talk me through the different type of ads that you're seeing working. Maybe if you're not familiar with, like you don't just have to run Facebook ads, what that is looking like for you and some of your clients.
It's crazy how I work with, just to give this context before I share this answer, I worked at 4 different ad agencies for over a decade. I've spent over $200 million on ads working with the CMO of billion-dollar Fortune 500 companies. So for those of you that are like, I wonder how long she's been doing this. Like I've been doing this for a minute and I've been teaching entrepreneurs for 7 years. My business has been open for 3. But before that, after work, I would drive to go teach people about ads. Like it's all I've done. So the difference between what I have and and the way I think about ads versus how everybody else in the world thinks about ads is the way that ad agencies are structured is by department. So there's like a social media department. There's a Google department. There's a shopping ads department. There's a email department. There's an analytics department. And what I did is I got up in there and learned all these different types. So you're right. Most people do Facebook and Instagram ads. And what's crazy that people don't realize is inside the ad agency, 90% of my clients spent the majority of their ads not on social media ads, which is crazy. People are like, wait, that's all I see. I'm like, right. You are conditioned to believe that what you see is the thing that exists. And so my clients actually spent the majority of their money on Google. And so whether you are a chiropractor or you have a retail store or you have a book or a podcast, whatever it is, what I see working well is diversifying. Mm-hmm. So that's why, like, the mistakes that I see my clients make is that, oh, I'm a local, service provider. And I'm like, and you're running ads on Instagram? And they're like, yeah. It's not that I'm against that. There's a place for it. But I'm like, if I own your business today and someone said, Ashley, you have 30 days to double the revenue in this business, I'm going Google. Mm-hmm. And then we'll support with that. So I think the thought is there's Google ads, there's YouTube, there's TikTok, there's Pinterest, there's LinkedIn, there's Spotify, there's Amazon, and there's Facebook and Instagram. Mm-hmm. The way you win is diversifying and knowing when do I spend this one on that one and how much do I put. So what works is not one platform. What works is not one type of business. It's how are you allocating your budget across all of these places where your prospects and your competitors are.
Yeah, so good. Okay, so if you're listening and you're like, well, this sounds amazing, because maybe you're frustrated with Facebook ads, or if you're like me and you open Meta Ads Manager and your like eyes pop out of your head and you're like, what the heck is this? Like, where do we start? We don't want to throw money at the wall. Like, where is the place to start?
So if you kind of want to do two things. You want to say, where's my audience the largest? Okay. So if you have Google reviews on Google and you have 100 Google and you're a therapist, or you are a plumber or a chiropractor or a physician or an Airbnb even, and you have a ton of reviews, I'm like, let's advertise there as your primary. But I teach that there's two places you should run ads, a search and a social. So search would be ChatGPT ads just came out to everyone in the last week. They had a $50,000 a month minimum that has been reduced. So now it is available for anyone. So search would be ChatGPT ads or Google ads. And then social would be like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc. And so the experience that you want to create is where people can find you and they're reminded by you. Because I like to say you don't want to be just the one easiest to find. You also want to be the one most top of mind. And so that requires having two audiences, prospecting versus retargeting. Prospecting is all your new people that have never heard of you. Retargeting is people that are familiar with you. We've grown an 8-figure company and our clients have made tens of millions of dollars by spending 95% of their budget on prospecting and only 5% on retargeting. Because so many people are like, I feel like I'm getting the same people commenting on posts, showing up here. Like, I don't. I feel like I have literally hundreds of new people every month. So of course the business is growing because prospecting matters. So prospecting, and by the way, this is like the tip I want to give everybody. If you don't know what you're doing, you will set up your campaign and you will think that you're going to get in front of new people. But there's a difference between suggesting versus requiring an audience when you set up a campaign. And so you have to require that it's new people and that you're actually excluding anyone that has heard of you on Facebook or Instagram, been to your website, on your email list. That's how I ensure that I'm getting in front of new people. And so prospecting and retargeting, search and a social. And as far as budget, that's normally the next, they're like, okay, well, how much do I start with? That's a great question. Yeah. So it's really going to depend on the lifetime value of the customer for you. So if you sell a home, you're like, okay, well, I might make a $20,000 commission now or a $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 commission now, but then they're going to tell a friend, they're going to buy another home. It's like, what's the lifetime value? Realtors might need to be willing to spend a little bit more than someone selling a $9 membership a month. And so it really just depends on that. And then I also give people the guidance. I'm like, well, what makes you the most uncomfortable? Because I am not going to be the person that is like, spend $5 a day and it can really add up. I'm like, no, the algorithm needs data and it can't make assumptions and predictions and optimize on a lack of data. And so if you're not willing to pay for data, you're not willing to succeed. So probably don't start with $5. So my guidance is you can't afford not to have people find your business. So at minimum, I typically recommend $1,000 a month. If you're not willing to spend $1,000 a month, then I'm concerned.
Yeah. Such good answers. I feel like there's so many different ways we could go. As I'm listening, I'm thinking of my clients or our listeners, and they're like, wow, this sounds like a full-time job because I'm trying to figure out where to run the ads. I'm trying to monitor the ads. I'm trying to figure out you have to create the ads. And so as someone who maybe has a small team or is looking to start a team, like what does that look like in terms of monitoring and like actually keeping this going in a sustainable fashion?
That's a very, very good question, Holly. So I also want to make sure that anything I'm doing like can fit in my schedule and that it makes sense. Like I value that. So the analogy, and I'll give you an analogy and a very specific answer. So the analogy is when I was 16 years old and I got behind the wheel of a car, I was so overwhelmed. I was like, my life is on the line. I thought I was in a left-hand turn lane, but I saw the green arrow and started turning into traffic, even though I wasn't in the left lane. Like it was like stop and start. There's signs. Like it was just so overwhelming. And now as a mom with 2 kids, sometimes it scares me, but I'm like, I blacked out and I'm like, I arrived at home. And what happened is driving has become so automatic. And so the only reason it feels overwhelming or confusing to people is because literally it's brand new. Golf can feel overwhelming when you first start. And then you're like, oh, I learned from an expert. So at the end of the day, everything's going to feel like that. And it would be abnormal if it didn't. But it is one of those things where it is going to take some time and energy up front. So I have found that people who are just willing to learn and see the long term, they are most successful. Because Holly, people ask me all the time, they're like, what type of business works best with ads? I was like, I 100% guarantee it is not a type of business. It is a type of person. Are you the person who needs instant gratification, or do you really see the long term? Because what's hard, when I paid for this cup, Holly, it was guaranteed that it was going to ship to me. When I paid for this cup, guaranteed. We are literally conditioned every day that we pay and it's guaranteed. We pay and it's guaranteed. And ads is not that, which is why everybody is not advertising their name and making it rain, because they don't have the tolerance for paying to literally get there. So when you think about, well, how long, how much time is this sustainable? So reading data and knowing what to do once you've actually set something up is also a skill. It's kind of like if my husband were to watch a football game, he can see the plays happening because his eyes are like looking at these things, but I'm not trained to even know what to look at. I'm like, where's the ball? But it's just because I don't have that skill. But again, everything is trainable. And especially when you learn from someone who's not confused, you learn from someone who has like mastered it, they can really compress the time that it takes for something to go from unknown to like utter confidence. So my recommendation is if someone is willing to commit 30 minutes to an hour a day, they would be so surprised how quickly something can become just unfamiliar to like, oh, I really get this, especially with the right tools and right guidance. So what we found is like a lot of our people, it's like the CEO. And what I find is the CEO doesn't realize this, but you could actually use is like a long-winded, but I think you'll find this cool. If you use AI to audit your calendar, it will show you, like you can use Claude and have it connect to your Google Calendar. And if you organize your calendar and say what's on your calendar, you can say, Claude, I'm trying to make an hour back in my day. Where am I like inefficient? And just log your time for a week, put it on your calendar. And then Claude will be like, oh, you spent this much time here and here. You could delegate this. I'm like, I promise you, we can like find the time and it can be the highest ROI on your time when you learn the skill of like printing money. And the thing, I say printing money, but like at the end of the day, if you don't sell something bad, you sell something good that's helpful. Like, don't think of it as a bad thing. It's like, I have to get this out to the world. It doesn't have to take a long time when you have the right guidance.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I feel like we could go down a whole side note of how Claude can interpret your calendar, and it's so helpful and so amazing. I want to talk a little bit about like product suite, because as someone who has like maybe dabbled in ads, I am not an expert. Where do you think your business should be in terms of before you start running an ad?
That is a great question. I recommend people do not run ads at all if they have something that they don't know people want to buy. So if they have a brand, like let me give you this example because there's pros and cons. If someone's like, I'm a realtor, I'm like, okay, well, we know people are buying homes. So that one, even if you're at ground zero, I would still recommend running ads. Because I'm like, you're going to have to get people to find it somehow. Would you rather post and hope people find it? Or would you rather pay and ensure the right people find it? They're people either way. It's just like, how quickly do you want to get results? So that's fine. But where I get like, you need to hold on is if someone made something up or they're trying to sell something just to have money and they don't have experience, which is a problem, or they learned something 3 minutes ago from someone else and now they're trying to teach it. Like authentically and genuinely, like that's not a place of where you should. I don't recommend you run ads. It's like if you have something proven and you have something special, and you have like data to say either I know people want to buy it, aka realtor, or I have proof that they're buying it. Like if someone's selling something organically and it's working, I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait for even more people to find it. But if someone's like, I think I'm going to teach farmers how to plant seeds. Like I'm like, if like I can't have a perfect example, but it's like it may not be necessary. But if it is and it's working, if you have anything people are buying today, you could advertise, because that just means that gives me validation, because I want to make a data-based decision, not emotional. And I'm like, data makes decisions make dollars. If the data says when someone finds Holly, they want to buy from Holly more often than not. I'm like, oh, so if more people like those people found Holly, do you think more people would buy? I'm like, of course, it's math. So that's my kind of guidance is some people, Holly, they're not willing to take the time to get good at something to be able to sell it. But if you are, you're good.
Yeah. I'm curious, when you talk about data, how are you using AI right now to dig into data or make recommendations or even like structure your ad campaigns?
The way that we're using AI that is game changing is how we are allowing it to help people make quicker decisions. Perfect example. One of my clients, his wife is an influencer. And so with influencers, they run ads. Let's say, there's two different types of influencers. There's people that run strictly to Amazon, and there's people that do like Target creator, Walmart creator, or have like these other specific brand deals. Well, this person runs ads to Walmart and Amazon. And so he was manually downloading. So here's how this works. If you're an influencer and you post outfits or you post, shelving, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You do not own Amazon's website, so you can't put a pixel on Amazon's website. But what you can do is Amazon gives you 100 unique tracking links. So you can say, oh, I'm going to use one of these and I'm going to only put this tracking link for this outfit in this ad. So if I get a sale, the only way they could have found me was from this ad, because I'm not putting it anywhere else. So then what happens is influencers get paid in two ways. They get paid from someone clicking on their link and buying the thing. And then they get paid, which is the main way they make the most money, is from the bonuses. So these influencers say, oh, I had over $1 million in shipped revenue. Well, once they have that shipped revenue, they only make 4 to 8% of all of that. But depending on how much they sell, they get bonuses that can be 4, 5, or even 6 figures. And so what was happening is, imagine an influencer that makes 7 figures a year on ads. They're using almost all 100 tracking links. So the husband was manually downloading all 100 tracking links every day and all of his ad data by day to say which of these ads are working. What we did is we guided him on how to marry the data, what metrics to look at, over what time period. And so now, Lord is my witness, this is fact, they now have 100% of their ads are profitable. Whereas before, using AI, the amount of time it took him to make a decision was slowed down by the fact that he's having to manually make pivot tables and use Excel. And so long story short, we are helping people make quicker decisions and have less wasted spend by helping AI see the blind spots that it takes a human longer to decide on. Yeah. So that's how we're helping people make so much more money. Eliminate the wasted spend so that you can spend more on what is working.
Yeah. So good. So good. Okay. I want to pivot a little bit. I want to go back to sort of this like life first lens.
Let's do it.
You have a very successful company. You have 2 boys under 5 and a team of 16. Like, I think that's the latest stats. Like, How does that look? What does that look like in a week for somebody that's like, I don't have time. I don't feel like time is an excuse, really.
Yeah. So because I am managing, 16 people and 2 children and multiple contractors and having like a relationship and family and friends, there is a lot, and I'm the content. Like I'm doing so much content. There's so much I'm spending my time on. I have so much help. And so I could not do it without it. And I think a lot of people hide behind the help. And I will tell you, I have my mom, I'm an only child. My mom is a retired teacher. She is an angel sent straight from heaven. She is our house manager. And so she comes over every morning from 6:30 to 11:30 to help get the kids dressed, get them breakfast, do the dishes, do the laundry, clean up the house, do the returns, check the mail, like do these other little things around the house that add up. And I could not do it without my mom. We have a chef. We have a house cleaner. We have so much support so that when I get out of working my booty off, I can come home. The food is ready and I just get to be with my kids. I turn on my brick. I don't get on my phone and I'm like, I'm there. So I just really have the support that I need to be able to show up, focus on what I can so that I can be with them. And I didn't always have that. It's only been the last year, I would say, that I've had that much help.
Yeah.
But now I am in a place where I'm finally like feeling like I'm actually being able to do all that I want, which is focus on my husband and my kids and my business. But I also structure my weeks in a way that is really helpful. So in the mornings, Monday through Friday, I fill my cup first because I can't pour from an empty cup. So I do my devotion, I journal, I move my body every single morning, non-negotiable. I take care of myself. And then I go to do my work. And so that's like my non-negotiable every day. And then during the day, Mondays and Fridays are typically open days. So they are get work done days. Fridays, I try to pick up my kids before nap time at school, which is around 12. And then Tuesday is full coaching day. It's all I'm pouring into my clients every minute because I have coaching calls. Wednesday is my team. Like I said, I have a large team, so I meet with every person I manage on Wednesday. And then Thursday is either a content day or a batch content day or a VIP day for my top tier clients. And so being all in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and having Monday to get the work done and get prepared for the week, and then Friday to do any wrap things and be with the kids, I just have a lot of structure, and that has been helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I always think it's interesting to hear like the structure behind the scenes and also like actually sharing that you have help. What's one thing that you used to think that you could never not do, and now you're like, I should have delegated this a long time ago?
Oh my God. My Instagram DMs, sales calls. Yeah. I used to think people will not buy if they do not hear from me. And that was a limiting belief. When you have the right people on your team, the right people, not the wrong people. If you have the wrong people, this won't be the case. If you have the right people on the team, people will love them just as much as they love you, if not more. And so I didn't think I could get out of that. I didn't think that I could get out of coaching. And I still coach, like I said, Tuesdays all day. But I have tiers now. And so to have access to my specific coaching, they have to invest at a certain level. And the people that can't and don't, they get my expert coach and they freaking love her. She's helping people make millions of dollars. So the summary is all of the pieces of the business that I thought I couldn't get rid of and I could have delegated, I did. I have an executive assistant now, executive and personal, life-changing. So everything is up for grabs, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. I love this. Okay. Just for fun, we're going to do some ads rapid fire.
Let's do it.
What's a paid ads rule that everyone teaches that you completely disagree with?
One campaign, one ad set, one ad.
Oh, I love that.
Like people are like, oh yeah, just do it like this and let Meta decide. I vehemently disagree.
Yeah, I love that. What is the messiest part about running your business that maybe nobody sees or talks about?
The total amount of questions and responses and things that rely on you until you delegate it. And most people can't handle the amount of open loops. It's like everybody loves to like get it all solved. You are never getting it all solved. It is impossible. And so being able to hold that much craziness and being able to delegate it is a wild thing, but it's chaotic on the inside because I'm constantly fixing problems. Yeah.
If you're like me, I like to have like a clean inbox and like a very like clean to-do list. And I'm just like, it's never going to happen. We're not there yet. We're not going to get there.
I had to let the perfectionist in me die. So yes.
Yes. Okay. What's the most used app in your business right now?
Slack.
Or
Gmail. Probably Slack. Slack we use a ton. And then the ad accounts, like the ads manager, the Meta ads app and Slack.
Yes. I love that so much. Okay. Last but not least, if you were thinking about starting ads, what's one tangible step you would give to anyone listening right now?
Make sure you have great testimonials that are not just text and not just like screenshots. Like I want to see people on camera advocating for your business. That one type of ad performs the best because people will not just trust what you say, they'll trust what they say. Yeah.
So good. I feel like we could just go so deep into all of these topics. And I know you are a wealth of knowledge. So thank you for being so open with us. If you want to learn more about ads and all the things that Ashley does, tell us where our listeners can find you.
So Ads with Ashley on Instagram. And then we have our 5-day ads training, which I'll send you a link for. And it is the place to start to see if like this is something you want to learn.
Yeah, we'll put all of that in the show notes. But thank you so much, Ashley. This has been so fun.
Great job, Holly. Thank you so much for having me.